Jets select Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh in this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers!
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Brees Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Brees Hall, oh my God, they got him! They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Rucker, oh my God! The Long Island native is a New York Jet! J-E-T-S, Jet! Let's go! Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And today we are diving into the weekly Jets stock report here on Jets Media, presented by Mojo. And in this one, we're going to be going on to Mojo and see who's trending up on the stock market, who's trending down, and also talk about the Jets in general, who on the New York Jets, coaching staff included, players, who's trending in the right direction. Who, after the Week 4 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers, should Jets fans be very excited about for the future after their performance on Sunday? And who are some players that are trending in the wrong direction after Week 4's performance, whether that is other players going ahead of them on the depth chart, them not getting a lot of playing time, them struggling on the field, maybe going to get replaced later on. So in this stream, we're going to be diving deep into everything that I saw in Week 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers and some players that I think is trending up and players that I think is trending down. And I also, of course, want to hear from you guys in the live chat in the comment section down below if you're watching a replay. Any players you guys feel like is trending up or down based off of my list. I'm definitely going to be adding guys onto the list as the stream goes on because I love hearing you guys in the chat to, hey, Richie, this guy should be trending up, or Richie, this guy should be trending down. So I love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section and, of course, the live chat. So welcome in, everybody. Hope you guys are hitting that like button on your way in and having a fantastic Tuesday morning. I love going live and doing this edition of the New York Jets stock report because it's really cool to dive deep into who's looking good and who's looking bad for the New York Jets. And not going to lie to you guys, I even had to tweet it out because I'm like, who's trending down for the Jets after that win? Who played bad? Like, who is struggling? Because there's a lot of positives to talk about. And that positive list is really long and really lengthy. So I'm really excited to get into the stream. So before we get deeper into it, guys, please do your boy a favor and smash that like button so we get as many Jets fans and NFL fans in here as possible. Really, really greatly appreciate that. We got 10 likes to start off the stream. Run up that thumbs up button for your boy. So first, before we get into my list of the Jets trending up or the Jets trending down, let's look at Mojo's list and the stock market and see who's trending up and who's trending down on the sports stock market. As you guys know, Mojo is the sponsor of today's video. And Mojo, if you guys are not familiar, they're a brand new app that you can download today. If you live in New Jersey, you can trade today. And if you don't live in New Jersey, you should still download the app because it's going to be in a location near you in a matter of time. So some players that are trending up on Mojo, Zach Wilson continues to rise. After his first game of his sophomore season, he goes up 4.91%. And I really strongly believe if you guys think Zach Wilson is going to continue to play good football, you want to invest in Zach Wilson today because he's going to continuously to rise. If you guys are into the traditional stock market, you guys know how the stock market works in real life. It's the same exact way here on Mojo. If you're not familiar with the stock market in general, basically, if you want to buy Zach Wilson, you want to buy shares in him, he costs $34.04 per share. So say you want to buy 10 shares in Zach Wilson. Let's do the math together. So say you want to buy 10 shares of Zach Wilson. That's going to cost you around $340. So if you invest $340 in Zach Wilson and say he goes out there against the Dolphins and he beats the Miami Dolphins, and all of a sudden Zach Wilson's stock moves up to $40. Well, guess what? That $340 turns in to $400 and you're up $60 immediately. So that's just an example of how the stock market works. And of course, you don't want to look at the short-term stock. You want to look at Zach Wilson for the long run because you feel like he's going to develop and his stock is going to rise. And newsflash, the quarterbacks are valued the most here on Mojo. So if you look at all the top quarterbacks around the league, they're around $80 a share, $90 a share, even $100 a share. So Zach Wilson is definitely going to continuously to rise on Mojo if he continues to play the way he did in his season debut against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Corey Davis stock exploded as well on the market. He's up 2.72% after his gutty performance in the fourth quarter. Breece Hall is the one guy that is so cheap on Mojo, and I'm like, we have to invest in this guy as a Jets fan base. Only $10.68 a share. He goes up 2.62%, and I just feel like Breece Hall, he's going to become the Jets star on this offense, or one of the Jets stars, if I'm being honest with you guys, because the way he runs with the football is unique. The way he has that home run potential is unreal. So Breece Hall is definitely a guy that I would think about investing in. And then these three guys as well. Elijah Moore has been trending down on Mojo a little bit because he has not really lived up to, the hype that we've been giving him in the offseason. I don't really think that's Elijah Moore's fault. I just think that there's a lot of guys around Elijah Moore, like Garrett Wilson, Tyler Conklin, Corey Davis, that are taking the targets away from Elijah Moore, but I don't think that's going to continue. I think for the long run, Elijah Moore is a guy you definitely want to invest in. And Garrett Wilson continues to rise as well. He's up 8.37% in the last week. So that's another guy that you feel like if he's going to continue to explode, you invest in Garrett Wilson now, he will be making you money in the long run. Tyler Conklin is really cheap, only $3.88 a share. He is definitely proven to be the Jets' number one tight end this year, and his stock is rising on Mojo every single week because of the target shares, because of he's very reliable to the quarterback. I know that he is not perfect. He has a lot of drops. He has some fumbles. He had that interception on Zach Wilson was because Tyler Conklin couldn't catch it. So Tyler Conklin's not been perfect, but I really feel like he's a player that I would invest in, especially at such a cheap price at $3.88. So this are the 6 players I wanted to talk about here on Mojo. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments section, or if you're watching it on replay down below. Who would you invest in here on Mojo? Because I feel like Mojo is a very unique style of sports betting where you can invest in your New York Jets. You can also invest on players to lose, and you can short their stock. So say, for example, there's a player around the NFL that you feel like is going to trend in the wrong direction, and their stock is rising, but you feel like they're about to fall. You can bet on that, and if the stock starts to fall, you make some money. So Mojo is a really good it's an extremely intelligent, idea that they got there, co-founded by A-Rod, and I'm really excited for this to come to New York because I will be investing in all my New York Jets. Not all of them. I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to just invest in everybody because I'm a Jets fan. I'm going to be smart with who I want to be invested in, because Zach Wilson is someone I'd invest in because I got confidence in him to continuously to rise on Mojo. Breece Hall is a guy that I would invest in for sure. Corey Davis, I probably wouldn't invest in just because he's a veteran and he's probably not going to, his value is not going to rise that much. But when it comes to the guys that I'd invest in, it's definitely Zach Wilson, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Tyler Conklin. Because I feel like these are the guys that I feel like are going to continuously to rise here in Mojo. So guys, make sure you download Mojo today. Even if you don't live in New Jersey, download the app because it's really fun to just look at the market, who's trending up, who's trending down, who's the top movers across the NFL. You can just really get a good idea of the value of players across the NFL. And remember, it's all quarterbacks and playmakers. There's no defensive players on there just yet. So it's all about the tight ends, the receivers, the running backs, and the quarterbacks across the league. So Mojo is a phenomenal app, and I would strongly recommend downloading it today. You don't even have to, sign up for Mojo and trade. You can just download it and look at the stock market and get a good understanding of what it is looking like. So guys, please make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying the show so far. Next segment is we're going to get into my guys who I think is trending up and who I think is trending down in my perspective. So we're going to do that right now. So again, shout out to Mojo because I really feel like I just can't wait for Mojo to come to New York, man. It really, really is such a great app, and I cannot wait because I got it on my phone. I look at it every single day because I'm really curious to see how it's rising. And when it does get legal in New York, I'm going to be all over this app. So download it down below in the description. And I appreciate you guys and appreciate Mojo, of course. So let's get into my guys who I think is trending up and is trending down. But before we do that, we got 45 people tuning in with only 17 likes. Everybody do me a favor and hit that like button on your way into the show so we can get as many Jets fans in here as possible. We got the first donation of the stream from Jaleel Crawford. Hi, Richie. I remember seeing you on TV. Also been here from the start. Let's go Jets. LFGM. Hell yeah, Jaleel. I appreciate that. Where did you see me on TV? I appreciate the donation, my man. Really do appreciate that. Really does mean a lot to the channel. But I'm curious, where did you see me on TV? Are you talking about the Mets game? And yes, the Mets have been really disappointing me this weekend. But Jaleel, I appreciate the donation, my man. It means a lot to the channel. So first, guys, we're going to get into the stock down because I need your guys' help because there's not a lot of players that I had on this list. And I feel like there's some guys that you guys will tell me, hey, Richie, this guy should be on the down list. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts of who you think. When you was at the Knicks game, oh, okay, you saw me on TV at the Knicks game. Yeah, I was on TV. I remember that. That's funny that you remember that. So let's get into the stock down report. So these are the three guys I have right here. Connor McGovern, John Franklin Myers, and Michael Carter. So first, let me just talk about Michael Carter first before everybody starts to panic. I don't think this is Michael Carter playing in terms of a stock down, but I think this is the emergence of Breece Hall. And I think that Michael Carter, it's nothing against him as a player, but I really feel like the Breece Hall experiment is becoming that he's going to take over the backfield. And I do think it's going to continue to be a split backfield. I don't think Carter's just going to take a back seat, but I think if you look at the snap count last game, Breece Hall had like 61 snaps to Michael Carter's 39 or something like that. So Michael Carter's trending down in terms of usage, in terms of, the coaching staff putting the ball in his hands. Breece Hall had 17 carries to Michael Carter's like 10 carries, and he didn't really do a lot with his reps. He did also have a false start penalty at the goal line, which you can't see from a running back. So definitely feel like Michael Carter is trending down, but I don't feel like it is something to be concerned about. It's more like a positive about Breece Hall's resurgence. And then Connor McGovern, he's been on this list every single week. And I know some people ask me, Richie, why are you so down on Connor McGovern? Am I missing something? Well, if you watch the games, man, every single time I see a run play up the middle, I see Connor McGovern on his ass, and I see the opposing defensive line just destroying Connor McGovern up the middle. He is a liability in the run game and in the pass game. I mean, he's not absolutely atrocious where he looks like the worst center in the world, but he's definitely playing like a below average center. He is not really helping out this offensive line, and his stock is definitely going down, and he is not looking like a player that I got confidence in being here for the long run. This is his last year with the Jets contract, and the Jets got to replace him next year unless he just looks better for the rest of the season. I don't know, but Connor McGovern is definitely not trending in the right direction, and he is a big issue for this run game. And luckily, he's staying healthy because if he goes down, we got an issue because the injury bug is hitting that offensive line big time. And then John Franklin Myers, I'm wearing his shirt right now, but the reality is John Franklin Myers hasn't really made a big impact this year so far. He doesn't have any sacks. He doesn't really his name isn't popping up everywhere. He's been decent in the run game, but when it comes to pass rush, he hasn't really been there. And I don't want to and this is just from week 4. There has been some games where John Franklin Myers has been doing good. I'm pretty sure against the Browns, he had a really good game. He's been getting to the quarterback, getting some pressures, but I do feel like John Franklin Myers has a little more than what we've seen from him. I feel like John Franklin Myers can take it to another level, and I'm really hoping that he can get to that next level because we're seeing Quinton Williams become dominant. We're seeing Carl Lawson getting a sack. We're seeing Jermaine Johnson. If John Franklin Myers can really step up and get to that dominant force that we're all expecting from him, then John Franklin Myers is going to be there. So JFM is a guy that the Jets really rely on his versatility, lining up on the defensive end when it's run plays, and when it's pass rushing downs, they like him on the inside. So John Franklin Myers, I really hope that he can, get back to his dominant ways like he was at the beginning of last year. And listen, I feel like JFM, you got to give him that contract because you need that talent on the defensive line. And the best thing about that contract that people always, misconstrue is they can get out of that contract after this year. All the guaranteed money was up front, and it's not a big deal. So I feel like it was smart for the Jets to extend him, and I really feel like them prioritizing the trenches is big, and I do not think this is going to continue. I think JFM is going to have a breakout game eventually this year, and I really feel like John Franklin Myers is a guy that the Jets need to really put more inside. I would like to see him more on the inside, but at the same time, when it comes to 1st and 10 and it's a running downs, they like to have JFM out there on the defensive end. So, and that's been working because the Jets have been pretty good against the run so far this year. So any other guys you guys want me to add? I see somebody saying the tight ends. I would not say that. Tyler Conklin, listen, Tyler Conklin, yes, he's been having some issues with drops, and he didn't fumble last week, but he's been reliable. I mean, statistically wise, he's on pace to having the best Jets season as a tight end ever. So that's why I'm not putting Tyler Conklin on here. He's been reliable. And on third downs, he had 2 crucial plays on third down last week. And statistically wise, he's been doing his job, but it's not been perfect for Tyler Conklin at all. And I got to make sure I bring that up. So any other guys you want me to bring up on the stock down, let me know. But let's get to the fun stuff, because look how lengthy this list is for the stock up. They all couldn't even fit. They all couldn't even fit on here. Stock up. Where do we even begin? Oh, my goodness. Let's just go down the list, and then we're going to go by one. Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Breece Hall, Corey Davis, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Jordan Whitehead, LaMarcus Joyner, Michael Carter II, Quinton Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Robert Saleh. All of these players are trending up. Hey, honestly, you could add Nate Herbig to this. I like that. I'm going to add him because he actually plugged in at right guard and had a great game. So I'm putting him right under AVT. Hey, man, we're adding as many positives to this list as we can. So, first of all, my biggest takeaway from this list is we have the entire secondary on here. Sauce, DJ Reed, both safeties, and Michael Carter II. Both of our starting corners on the outside, both of our starting safeties, and our slot corner, because they all balled out. Every single one of them. Shout out to the safeties, because the safeties have been bad this year. Jets safeties have been bad this year. Not week 4. Not week 4. LaMarcus Joyner has been trash. Jordan Whitehead has been trash. Well, guess what? They were not trash this week against the Steelers. Talk about a breakout performance for the secondary. Not even the secondary, because those corners have been good all season, but the safeties have not. So shout out to the 2 safeties. We got Broadway Jets in the chat saying, can you add Jets Twitter? Of course I can add Jets Twitter, because Jets Twitter is undefeated. You know I'm adding Jets Twitter. My guy NYJ Matt is the king of Jets Twitter. Jets Twitter's trending up, baby. Jets Twitter, I love it. All right, it's added for you, NYJ Matt. Zerline is a positive as well, for sure. But look, I can't even fit everybody. Look, it's the font's too small to fit these guys. It's funny. Isn't that crazy? We can't even fit everybody. All right, so let's start from the top. Zach Wilson. Zachy boy Wilson. Well, first of all, it is such a great sign that he is on this list after his debut than the down list, because if Zach Wilson was on the down list, that would be an issue. The reason why Zach Wilson's on this, I don't think you guys need me to tell you why, because he won the game for the Jets, and he had a very impressive sophomore debut. Was it perfect? No. Was he rusty a little bit? Yes. So Zach Wilson came out there and proved so much to me, and I'm going to make a whole video about my thoughts of Zach Wilson separately. But what really impressed me the most of Zach Wilson wasn't his arm, wasn't his legs, wasn't his body, wasn't his arm talent, because I knew he had all those. Those weren't shocking to me. Those weren't anything that I didn't know he already had. What I didn't know Zach Wilson has, because he didn't show it a lot in his rookie season, and it's the number one thing I was hopeful to see in his year 2 development, is his brain, is his mentality, is his poise, is his confidence, is his ability to elevate guys around him, is to become a captain, become a leader. Hey, he did all of that against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is so important, because that's what it takes to be a franchise quarterback in this league. All that arm talent, all that athleticism, all that physical traits that we are in love with Zach Wilson does not matter if he cannot get his brain intact. If his mind is thinking too fast and can't process defense. If his brain is not confident and he has happy feet in the pocket and he doesn't have poise, he doesn't have confidence. Because the physical traits will not work without the mind. And what we saw from Zach Wilson was a big-time step in the mind. And you know what a big part of that is? Continuity. Same system in year number 2. He has a really good understanding of the offense. He doesn't have to think about the play calls. He hears a play call. He knows exactly what needs to be done. He knows his reads. You know, when you're a rookie and you get an NFL playbook thrown at you, you're learning on the fly. Well, now he's going to year number 2. He got to sit back and watch Joe Flacco. He gets a good understanding, and his mind is really, you know, the game's slowing down for him, and that's a big, big step. And the fact that Zach Wilson had a perfect fourth quarter, 10 of 12, 128 yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdown drives. And after that touchdown drive, or excuse me, when the Jets got the ball back down by 3, and he goes up to the offense and he says, let's go score an effing touchdown. And he backed it up and was throwing darts, absolute darts. Now let's talk about his physical traits. Because Zach Wilson, his arm, and it's not surprising to me, might be surprising to other folks, but I knew he always had it. Zach Wilson's arm is different, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a fact. This guy has an arm where the release, it's like has to be less than a second. It's just, pew. I mean, when I'll never forget, it was like a third down, and Tyler Conklin was open over the middle, and he sidearmed it, and it was a bullet. The throws that he was making in the fourth quarter, he has so much zip on that ball. He has such a quick release, and his footwork was great. He was stepping up into the pocket. Pocket was collapsing, and he was stepping up into the pocket to throw the ball. That's veteran-level stuff. We did not see Zach Wilson do that consistently last year. So now, is Zach Wilson going to remain on this list for the rest of the season? I do think that he might be trending down in a couple games because he's still young. I don't want to manifest that, but we do have to realize that he's still going to be making some mistakes. But it's up to him to learn from them. So Zach Wilson, you cannot have asked for a better game because you expected the rust, and the rust was there. He had a really bad interception to end off the first half. He had another near interception. He had a bad throw to Breece Hall that could have been a touchdown. He had a bad throw to Garrett Wilson that should have been an easy screen pass. There's still a lot of things that Zach Wilson needs to clean up. So I don't want to make it seem like it's all good because there's still a lot of things that Zach needs to clean up. But when Zach Wilson needed to step up the most, and I rewatched the broadcast yesterday, and I'll never forget, dude, all the momentum was on the Steelers' side. In the fourth quarter, it was 3rd and long, and the broadcasters were saying, all right, Zach Wilson, you need to show why you're the 2nd overall pick. Now is your time. You're in a hostile environment. The Pittsburgh Steelers crowd is rabid right now. The defense is getting hot. All the momentum is on the Steelers' side, and the broadcast was saying, this is the time for Zach Wilson to prove why he was a 2nd overall pick. Let's see what he's got. And at that time, the Jets were down by 10, and it was 3rd and long. And he answered the bell. Zach Wilson answered it. And that is impressive. Hearing the broadcast saying that and then knowing the outcome made me feel so good because they said if Zach Wilson goes out there and proves that he can handle this situation, the Jets might have their franchise quarterback. And it's exactly what happened. So shout out Zach Wilson. Let's hope that he can continue in the right direction against the Miami Dolphins. Now, we can't only talk about Zach Wilson because look at this list, guys. Elijah Vera-Tucker, arguably the best Jet player on this team. Oh my gosh, we have a superstar, ladies and gentlemen, in Elijah Vera-Tucker. This man was asked to move from right guard to left tackle. He didn't even blink. Shout out to the Jets coaching staff. AVT has been working on his left tackle drills as an emergency situation for the entire season. After practice, AVT will go out there and work on some left tackle sets just in case. The Jets go up to him. He's like, all right, you're a left tackle. AVT's like, I got you. And he goes out there and had the best left tackle game of the season. He looked better than George Fant. So Elijah Vera-Tucker is a superstar. He is an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowler. That man is the key to this offensive line. I do not know where we would be without him. He might have to play left tackle again this week if Dwayne Brown is not ready to go. So you cannot ask for a better gem of a draft pick from Joe Douglas of Elijah Vera-Tucker. That trade up is proven to be worth it times 10. And AVT is on, he's only 23 years old. He's only has 20 games underneath his belt. This guy's going to be a long-term Jet. He's going to be the cornerstone of this offensive line. And I cannot say enough good things about Elijah Vera-Tucker. Nate Herbig, shout out Nate Herbig because he's a big reason for the reconstruction of the offensive line. You move AVT to left tackle. You plug Nate Herbig in right guard to make his Jets debut. He was phenomenal. At the time when we acquired Nate Herbig in May, I was pumped up because that is a perfect depth piece of this offensive line in case any injuries happen. Now, there's no injuries on the guard positions, luckily, but the injuries to the tackles forced AVT to go to left tackle and plug in Nate Herbig at right guard. And he looked damn good in the run game, in the pass game. The offensive line held their ground with Nate Herbig at right guard. So you got to give him his flowers. Now, Breece Hall is the next guy on the list. Breece Hall is trending up. Every single week, this guy is getting better and better and becoming an NFL running back before our very eyes. What Robert Saleh always says in the press conferences is he wants to see Breece Hall turn into an NFL-style running back. Instead of running to the right and to the left, run north and south. Instead of running east and west, run north and south. When you see a defensive back, put your head into him and gain extra yards. And we saw that against the Steelers. Breece Hall got the game-winning touchdown. He had 3 explosive runs. He had 66 yards on the ground, and he's just an explosive play waiting to happen. Now, I could also add to the stock down list the offensive line in the run game as a unit, but I do think a lot of that has to do with them having so many injuries because what you need as an offensive lineman to excel in the run game is continuity. All the moving pieces on the offensive line is not going to help out this Jets team offensively in terms of running the ball, which is really frustrating because the running game is not working. And it's not because of the running backs. It's because of the offensive line. The amount of times we hand the ball off to Hall or Carter and there's 2 defensive players in the backfield when they have the ball is ridiculous. So that is the reason why. So Breece Hall's trending up. Breece Hall is doing a phenomenal job, and I really feel like he's going to become a star for the New York Jets. Corey Davis, trending up. My guy, Corey Davis. I tweeted it out today, and I said, Corey Davis is so undervalued by this Jets fan base, and they needed to start appreciating him more. The 2 wins we have, Corey Davis had big games. Shout out to the veteran who knows exactly what needs to be done in the 4th quarter. Corey Davis did nothing all game. The ball wasn't thrown to him once. And then when he needed to step up for his quarterback, he did just that. Corey Davis. First of all, Zach Wilson was looking at Corey Davis on all the money downs. 4th and 7, who does he look for? Corey Davis. He wins his one-on-one. Beautiful route. Post over the middle. Man coverage. Absolutely beautiful route to get open. Beautiful timing throw by Zach Wilson. First down. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Who is Zach Wilson going to? It's Corey Davis. So you got to give Corey Davis the credit. And not even to mention, Corey Davis in the run game, the blocking, he had a perfect block on the game-winning touchdown to Breece Hall. He had a perfect block on the screen pass to Braxton Berrios late in the game. He had a bunch of blocks because in this system, you need to have wide receivers that excel in blocking, and Corey Davis is the best Jets receiver when it comes to blocking. I think Corey Davis is Zach Wilson's favorite target. That's what Abby just said. I agree. Put some respect on his name. So, listen, I feel like Jets fans, for whatever reason, they hate on Corey Davis. Not everyone, but on Twitter and in my chat, I always see people hating on Corey. We got to trade him. We got to get rid of him. He's a bum. Listen, Corey Davis is not here to be the number 1 receiver. Corey Davis is not here to be, a superstar for this team. He's wide receiver 3. And that's okay. And guess what? Can anybody guess who leads the Jets in receiving yards this year? I mean, it's obvious because that's who we're talking about. Corey Davis leads the Jets in receiving yards. So my point is Jets fans need to stop undervaluing Corey Davis because he deserves his flowers. Now, I think he's a very reliable player on this Jets team, and I really feel like what I saw against the Steelers, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where we would be because he came in clutch. He caught the balls when he needed to. He got open. So shout out Corey Davis. Now, the next group of players is the entire secondary. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Jordan Whitehead, Joyner, and Carter. Woo! Isn't that beautiful to see? The entire secondary on a stock up report. Not just the corners, but the safeties are there as well. So let's start off with Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is playing better than anybody ever expected as a rookie. I think Jets fans expected good play from him, but we also knew that he's a rookie and he might have some rookie mistakes and he might get beat. He might give up a touchdown. And hey, to be real with you guys, there has been some rookie pains. The rookie pains have been the communication issues. Now, I don't think that's him, but I think it was the collective effort from the secondary. There's no miscommunication issues last week, though, which is a great sign. So Sauce Gardner is locking down his side of the field. That interception that Michael Carter II had is because of Sauce Gardner. When we get into the film review, which will be tomorrow on the channel, Sauce baited the rookie Kenny Pickett to throw that ball. He broke on it, deflected it up for Michael Carter II to get the pick. MC2 tweeted out saying, thank you, Sauce, for the assist. So shout out Sauce Gardner. He's living up to his hype. He's living up and proving why he's the 4th overall pick. DJ Reed is arguably one of the best players on this Jets defense. Probably one of the best free agent signings this Jets team has had in a long time, because this Jets team has been doing good in drafting, but in recent memory, they have not been doing good in free agency. So shout out DJ Reed, because he is locking down his side. He is like one of the best corners in the league in terms of passer rating when targeted. And he is a dog in terms of tackling. He has a leadership ability. I want to see a captain badge on his chest, because he is riling up these players in the locker room. His voice is being heard. He's been in the system before. He knows what it takes to win in the system. So DJ Reed is stepping up and being one of the best corners in the NFL. DJ Reed is an absolute dog. Now, Jordan Whitehead and LaMarcus Joyner, they deserve credit. Have they been good all year? No. Have they been bad week 1, week 2, week 3? Yes. Did they have an absolute phenomenal game week 4? Absolutely. Now, yes, it's going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. But you got to give the credit where the credit is deserved. Because the fact is, LaMarcus Joyner absolutely balled out. That first play of the game, or the second play of the game, Trubisky tried to find Pickens deep. LaMarcus Joyner, perfect pass deflection. And then Mitch Trubisky throws an interception. The interception was beautiful. They had Sheldon Rankins drop back in coverage. He got into the passing lanes. He tipped it. It was off of Johnson's hands, and Joyner picked it off. Way to catch that. That's not an easy grab. So Joyner deserves his props. Joyner also had a great play on 3rd down where he was blitzing, and it was a run up the middle, and he got the sack. He got the stop. And then he got that interception in the Hail Mary. Shout out Jordan Whitehead. Well, actually, let me go back to Joyner, because Joyner kind of set up that Whitehead interception. Kenny Pickett on his first pass attempt tried to force it to Chase Claypool. Joyner puts his hands up, deflects it up there for Whitehead, and Whitehead picked it off. So shout out the 2 safeties. That is beautiful secondary safety football right there. Whitehead should have had 2 interceptions, but the second pick got called back because of the Carl Lawson roughing the passer. So this is a really good sign that our safeties had a game like this. And it wasn't just one of them. It was both of them. Now, they're going to be tested the most they've ever been tested this season against the Miami Dolphins. Now, I don't expect them to have the day that they had against the Steelers, against the Dolphins, because of the weapons is completely different. But it is definitely a good sign that Whitehead and Joyner had that type of game. And then Michael Carter II getting his first career interception. He's been having a great season so far. Love everything you're seeing from the year 2 nickel corner. Quinnen Williams. You can say Quinnen Williams is the best player on this team. Definitely the best player on the defense, but he is the best player on this team. Quinnen Williams, I think, who's a better defensive tackle than Quinnen Williams in the AFC? No one. He is playing at another level right now. He had a sack. He had a couple quarterback hits. He had 6 total tackles. He's running he's sprinting at the quarterback, forcing him out of bounds. He plays with a high motor. He's a leader. He's calling out the coaching staff. He's holding the coaching staff accountable. He's playing like an absolute animal. Quinnen Williams deserves his props. And I know a lot of Jets fans are saying like, oh, well, he's a 3rd overall pick. He's not living up to the hype. Well, guess what, guys? He's living up to that 3rd overall pick hype this season, and you got to give him the credit. He's playing like the best defensive tackle in the AFC. What else do you want from the guy? He's been consistent all season long. He's been getting to the quarterback consistently. He's winning his one-on-ones. Quinnen Williams is the anchor of this defense. Because this defensive line, guys, would pretty much not be that good without him. Telling you. Without Quinton Williams, this defensive line is not good. It might be good, but it has the potential to be great with him. Because then you have Carl Lawson on the edge getting his first full sack. You have Jermaine Johnson on the edge getting his first full sack. So shout out to Jermaine Johnson and shout out to Carl Lawson as well. The only reason why I did not add Carl Lawson to this list is because if he didn't have that roughing the passer penalty, he'd be on here. But he did get his first full sack with the Jets, so that is a great sign. But he did have a boneheaded roughing the passer penalty that cost the Jets 3 points. That needs to be fixed. So shout out Quinton Williams. Shout out Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine looks really good, guys. Outside of Jermaine Johnson's first career full sack, he was looking so good in the running game. So good in the running game. So shout out Jermaine Johnson. He's living up to that hype of drafting him at that 23 spot. Robert Saleh. Let's talk about our head coach real quick. Robert Saleh's trending up. He just beat Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. The way that he managed the clock in that game was unbelievable. There's a lot of questions about Robert Saleh's ability to handle the clock, his ability to be a game manager, his ability to call timeouts. Well, Robert Saleh had 2 instances that he deserves so much credit. That 2nd and 9 play where Zach Wilson threw a rifle to Corey Davis. You see the replay. It low-key could have been incomplete if the Steelers challenged it. Well, guess what? Robert Saleh knew what needed to be done. Hurry up offense. Snap the ball. Do not allow the Steelers to review it. And they still got 5 yards on that play. Also, Robert Saleh to manage the clock in that game, to not allow the Steelers to have any time to come back and win that game. They gave the Steelers 16 seconds. If he wasn't smart, he could have called a timeout too prematurely with 50 seconds left. We could have scored that touchdown with 50 seconds left, and the Steelers would have had a lot of time to go down the field. So Robert Saleh deserves his credit. Robert Saleh deserves it. He still has a lot to prove. He's not proved to be the franchise coach yet, but I absolutely love everything I'm seeing from Robert Saleh. I love the receipts comments. I love that you could definitely tell that he has this locker room, man. This team believes in this head coach. The team is fighting for their head coach. The team is buying into what he is saying, and that is so important because Adam Gase lost the locker room so fast, and you can tell immediately. The team has not lost Robert Saleh, or should I say Robert Saleh has not lost the team. That is a great sign, guys. Great sign. There's still some things we need to see from Robert Saleh to prove that he can really be a great head coach for this team. But after that Week 4 performance, going into Pittsburgh, having the game plan, having the whereabouts to start off strong, and then the Steelers to come back, and for them to still come back and win, that tells you so much about this coaching staff. It really does. Now, it's not all perfect for Robert Saleh because the penalties are a big issue. And I have no idea how this Jets team was able to bounce back and not allow those penalties to hurt them, especially late in the fourth quarter. Oh my gosh. Block in the back, holding, false starts. And it was 2nd and long, 1st and long, and they were still able to get the first downs. That's Zach Wilson for you. So there's still some discipline issues that we need to clean up penalty-wise, but the game plan and the energy from Robert Saleh, he deserves his flowers. And the final one is Jets Twitter. Jets Twitter is undefeated. Jets Twitter is amazing, and we are all thankful to be part of this great, great fan base on Twitter. So that is my Jets stock up and Jets stock down report. If you guys agree with it, let me know. If there's anybody you guys want me to add or take away, let me know. Please do me a favor. If you did not already, smash that like button. We only have 45 likes with 89 people tuning in, so please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. We greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. I want to see those thumbs up buttons getting spammed right now. Guys, we have until tomorrow night, until the AFC East Roundtable. You know that I will be supporting this Jets team hard in that stream because we're going up against the Dolphins. We're about to beat them, baby. Go 3-2. Richie, what's the news on Max Mitchell's knee? How long is he out? He is not out for the season. It is a dislocated knee. We do not know how long it's going to be. We do not know if I'm assuming he's going to go on injured reserve list. So it'll probably be a 4-week, 5-week minimum. Good news is he is not out for the season. So, guys, I am so pumped up that the Jets won that game, as you should be as well. We got a lot of things coming your way on this channel. Tomorrow will be the all 22 film breakdown where we're going to rewatch the entire game together and get deeper into what went right for this Jets team, what went wrong for this Jets team, because the Jets beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-20 in Pittsburgh for the first time in a long time. The Jets never win in Pittsburgh, and they did. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Shout out to this Jets team, man. Yo, if the Jets win and Bills lose, we will be first in the AFC East. I'm pretty sure that the Bills versus the Steelers, so I do not see the Bills losing. Let's just beat the Dolphins. Let's just beat the Dolphins. We really won this game as opposed to the Browns losing. That's a fact. The Browns game really felt like a fluke. It felt like a miracle. But this one feels different. This is a real NFL win. And don't get it twisted, though. That Browns game is very important for the season because that win is going to really propel this team to potentially be in the playoff hunt if they continue to play good football. So let's go over Mojo one more time, guys. This is the stock report on Mojo, which is a stock market. If you guys want to join the show, click the link down below in the description and download Mojo today. Zach Wilson's trending up. You want to invest in him now. Corey Davis is trending up. Breece Hall's trending up. Garrett Wilson's trending up. Tyler Conklin's trending up. Elijah Moore's barely trending down, but it's just a matter of time until that man starts to explode. I am so excited, baby. Richie, do you seriously feel like there's a chance to beat the Dolphins? 100%. Now, am I 100% confident that the Jets will beat the Dolphins? No. But if you think this Jets fan base is scared of the Dolphins or we're intimidated and we think we're going to lose guaranteed, you're wrong. Because what this Jets team is showing, that this is a completely different era of Jets football. And let me just say it real quick. I do not think it's going to be easy. A lot of things need to be clicking for the Jets on all cylinders. But if you're a Dolphins fan and you think this is just going to be an easy win and a blowout win against the Jets, you got to really evaluate this Jets team a little bit more because it's different. The talent is everywhere. We're getting some praise right now. The NFL is taking notice of this Jets team. Don't make it seem like we're the same old Jets that you guys have been beating up on for the past couple of years, because we're not. This is a very winnable game for the Jets. It won't be easy. Just because the Dolphins have Teddy Bridgewater doesn't mean it's going to be an easy win for the Jets, because they still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Jalen Waddle. They still have a very good defense that has been together for a long time. But I have confidence that this Jets team will be competitive and they'll get a chance in the fourth quarter to win that football game. But the key to victory against the Dolphins is the pass rush. It's also turnover-free football offensively. That's really what it comes down to. And I love hearing Dolphins fans so positive that they're going to beat us. I love that. TD in my group chat with all the AFC East Roundtable YouTubers are like, oh, we're going to destroy the Jets. I love that. And I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow night. The fact that the Dolphins fans are so confident that they're going to beat us, we have them right where we want them, Jets fans. We have it right where we want them. We have the Dolphins right where we want them. Because they are not expecting anything from this Jets team. And I guarantee that they're nervous about this game, but they will not admit it. They will not admit that they are nervous against this Jets football team. I'm going to be at the game Sunday. And it's going to be glorious when we win that game, baby. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys big time. If you did not already, please hit that like button. Share with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to get going on my weekly Touchdown Kingdom video that I come out with every Tuesday, which is my weekly predictions. So if you guys want to help me out on that channel, look up Touchdown Kingdom. Subscribe over there. But that's my next task at hand, is to make that Touchdown Kingdom video. So I'm going to end up this video here at the 45-minute mark. I appreciate you guys big time. Smash that thumbs up button on your way out. Let's go, Jets. We are on the rise, baby. Shout out Garrett Wilson. Shout out Zach Wilson. Shout out the New York Jets. Let's go, baby. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the All-22 film breakdown. Peace out, everybody.